Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Secretary. I too just want to thank you for your leadership and commitment to the people of this Commonwealth. My question has to do with Act 89. The law was passed and it took effect January 1st. We know it's a very voluminous bill. We know there are very many moving parts to this bill. As you talked about, $2.4 billion, and we've all had discussions for months and months about where the money was going to go. But as we sit today, almost 2 months into the enactment of the bill, are the revenues that we are actually receiving in line with those projections that we all saw in November?
Based on what we've seen so far from the Department of Revenue, yes. We expect them to track closely to what we saw in the projections from November when we put this bill together.
So that's good news, right? So we've got all these moving parts. At the end of the day, we're actually happy with what those estimates that we planned are actually here. I guess my other question is unforeseen items I think of the winter as one. I mean, we talk about spending plans. I mean, bottom line is with this rough winter throughout the state, since all of our budgets are pretty much blown at the township or at the county levels, do we just reallocate monies differently based upon this winter? And you talked about that a little bit in your opening statement on the challenges that you're going to face. But bottom line was, with at least the money is there, maybe we're just going to have to change programs or funding into the future, correct?
We're no different than each one of us at home, right? If you have an unexpected expense, then something else has to go. So we're going to spend it looks like about $30 million more than we anticipated on winter, roughly.
And
don't know yet.
Maybe that's not terrible, right? I mean, I thought that number would be much higher given
we were roughly at $190 million. We've spent $200 million so far. It really depends on how many more storms we get in March. But if we spend, let's say, $30 million roughly, well, that's $30 million we would have put into additional paving and maintenance related activities at our county, based on our county budgets. But with Act 89, we're able to still do all the pay. We certainly would have been able to do more had we not spent this on winter, but we're certainly going to do more paving than we ever would have done this year without Act 89. We are going to make some adjustments. They had, based on, like everyone else, we sit down with our county budgets and our districts, and they say, okay, if we have $190 million that we were going to spend on winter maintenance, then we'll start spending this money on other activities starting in the spring. Now they're going to have to instead say, well, everybody spent more money on winter, so some of those activities will have to change. How we do that is the same type process everyone else would do, whether it's your budget at home or anything else. We'll go down and say, okay, what do we need to do? What do we have to do? And then what, if anything, do we have to defer to the next year? And again, I want everyone to understand we're going to do a lot more work than we otherwise would have done because of Act 89, but we'll do a little less than we would have done had it not been for this severe winter.
Right. My other comment is really just a comment. I know I have the good fortune of representing Damascus Township in Wayne County. It's one of the largest townships in the state. It's up on the far northeast region, and they have 90 miles of their own road. And I visit there once a month, and I talk to my constituents. And I can tell you that for the past 7 years, I would visit there in April, and I'd always be met with a supervisor or a roadmaster or someone saying, Mike, when are we going to get our liquid fuels? You keep giving us less and less every year dollars. And and it's springtime. We need to start working the roads, and we have no money. And I know I just saw in a press release last week that all money will be distributed by March 3rd. We will be heroes at home when our townships get those checks on March 3rd. So I just, again, sometimes it's those little things that we do that make such a big difference to our constituents. But I can tell you when those checks are received at home March 3rd, we will all be heroes. So thank you for that. It's just a very smart move. Thank you.
It's
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
$34 million additional statewide that will be going and what was going.
Even it's additional monies, but it's just a check that's received a month earlier when they really need it. They're out of money right now. So that check that comes in March 3rd instead of April sometime is very well received by, again, all of our townships. So thank you.